Hey guys, what's up? It's TF Now. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another action figure review. This is going to be of the Marvel Legends series, part of the newest release of Iron Man figures, as well as the Build-A-Figure Ursa Major series, Modular Iron Man. I was very excited for this figure, honestly. A lot of people have been wanting a version of this Iron Man for a while, myself included. It's generally seen as one of the best Iron Man suits in the comics, and while I haven't read every single comic that this was featured in, I got myself a little bit familiar with the lore behind this armor and whatnot, if you want to even call it lore. I did watch the 90s cartoon of Iron Man, which I thought was pretty sick, and this was pretty much the main armor in that cartoon. So this is going to hit the nostalgia spot for me. Let's just go ahead and take a look at the packaging here. It's very basic with Marvel Legends. Top half has Legends series, nice backdrop there with some yellow and whatnot. In the box there, you have the figures, top half of some of the contents that you see there that it comes with. Marvel and Iron Man, Modular Iron Man, and it does have the Hasbro logo. We have a really nice illustration on this side here of the modular armor. They're looking really, really nice. On this side, it's pretty much the same thing, just reflected, but it's still very cool looking. And then we get the top half here. It does say Build-A-Figure Ursa Major. We do have warning, choking hazard, ages 4 and up, as well as a logo there with the helmet. On the back here, just giving you a wide look at what this whole back of the packaging looks like. Looking really cool. We get to the top half. It has the artwork again. You can see a little bit better of the modular armor Iron Man there, and you do get a multilingual reader if you want to pause and read that. It does say Marvel Legends series in the top right. The rest of the series right here. This figure does not come with a Build-A-Figure piece, but the rest do. I don't know if I'm going to get every single one of them, but I'm definitely getting Ultron, and that Ursa Major does look pretty cool. We have multilingual warnings right there, and then the barcode in case you need it. Let's go ahead and get this figure out of the packaging. Okay, here's the figure out of the packaging. It is really well done. I have some issues with it. I say that a lot with my reviews, but it's just kind of consistent. Not every action figure can be perfect. This one in particular. There are some things that worry me a little bit too much. But overall, it's a very solid piece. Since it doesn't come with a Build-A-Figure piece, we'll go through the accessories pretty quick, then take a closer look at the figure. Now, first of all, we have definitely seen these before. These are these dark blue repulsor pieces that well, there's not much going on here. Sometimes they will add paint to them depending on the Iron Man figure, sometimes they won't. This time around it's just a dark blue plastic, translucent plastic. It gets a little bit more translucent here than at the base, so I don't know what they did there exactly, but it's not, there really isn't any paint at all. These plug into the holes on the hands like that, which is very easily done. Or if you wanted to, since you probably have an Iron Man figure that has these now, they've been around for like 5 years, these little pieces. You can place on the feet. What I thought was reused, but actually isn't, which I'll show you in a second why, are these hands. These are new sculpts for the hands that are done similarly to previous Iron Mans, specifically the classic Iron Man, the 80th anniversary one. You can see the space right there. Now, there's no paint on these either. It's a dark red mold, but the sculpting overall with the lines looking pretty nice. So I'm only going to use the right hand just to give you a comparison. And he comes packaged with the open hands, which we will take a look at in a little bit. You can definitely see this palm is longer. The hand is essentially just longer and a little bit bigger than the 80th anniversary one right there. If you have the new version of this from the Shang-Chi series, then you can compare that easily too. Side-by-side comparison, definitely a longer hand on the left compared to the one on the right. So that's cool. Overall, not a lot of accessories, and again, he doesn't come with a Build-A-Figure piece, but it comes with pretty much everything you need for an Iron Man figure besides an alternate head. So this Iron Man here is an all-new sculpt, and I dig the sculpt overall. Where there is gold, it looks really good. However, where there is this red, where it looks metallic, but it's just molded in this color, it doesn't look entirely amazing. I do wish they committed to the red here. Similar thing what's going on with this one here. The gold on here is spectacular, but the red, I don't know. It just definitely looks like plastic to me. First of all, this head sculpting is great. It's great. Look at the black eyes right there. The really nice design for the mouth. I don't see any mismatched paint. I don't see any of the gold going into the red, so that's really good. Get to the back here. The rest of it is pretty consistent, so that's good. Not that marbleized looking plastic that sometimes we get. Like a little bit down here, you can kind of see it, but it's not super duper noticeable. This neck piece is also, I thought it would be reused, but it is different. I'm not going to do a complete side-by-side comparison. because it's going to take too much time, but just gives you an idea that these are different pieces. There's a lot more lines going on with the old one here than the new one. We have this nice, oh gosh, something's going on outside. We do have this nice little, it's almost like this diamond logo. It's like a, I wanted to say the Superman logo, which some of you might get mad at, but that's the shape of it right there. You see, we do have the gold, which looks really good. The rest of this torso has gold on it, which actually also looks really well done. I'm afraid it might chip. You know, this metallic gold paint might chip, like what it happens with, that wasn't proper grammar, what happens with this a little bit. There are some spots here that chip a little bit with that metallic paint. It's starting on the joint here. They did paint the joints. It's a little hard to notice, but look at the bottom half here of the double joint compared to the top half. It's a little bit more, you know, it's not as metallic looking. It still blends in, but the paint I had to take off there with my fingernail. You see a little bit more paint there. Nice lines going on the shoulders basically, but they're molded in this red plastic that I wish was, again, more metallic looking. These hands, I don't have the other hands from other Iron Mans right now, so to apologize, but because there's a hinge here, you know that these things are definitely a unique sculpt. We get to these gauntlets here. You can see that this here is not painted, this gold piece there, but it doesn't look too bad with the sculpting. Get down to the crotch area, there's some gold on the front and more of this metallic looking but not entirely metallic plastic, as you can see. We get down to the legs, there's some muscles of course throughout the whole body, with a little bit of lines right here, but we do have these pieces on the outer thigh that, you know, they are separate pieces, and I believe they're a little bit harder plastic, but they don't get in the way of articulation, and unless you start rotating like that, maybe it gets in the way a little bit. We get down to the kneecaps, which have some paint on them, looking really good. I believe they are part of the sculpt. So there's a little bit of gold going on to the red right there, which isn't super distracting, but I just noticed that this now, and it's a bit ugly. I just noticed it though, so it wasn't super noticeable. And then we get down here again to the red. Same issue that I have. It's just the plastic looks metallic, but it doesn't look all that great. And then we have the outer calves here, which is what they did similar, just a little bit longer with the 5 pieces there. And these are new boots. Parts that aren't necessarily you know, obvious to tell, I will give you a quick side by side. So that's definitely new. I don't think it's reused from a War Machine. That's what the bob and the feet look like though. They don't do the serial printing anymore on the legs, which is awesome. Let's go ahead and back out and give you a quick 360 look at how this figure looks. Because this thing, man, it didn't really mention the back too much. We do have some nice muscles on the back. And pinless tack. There was no pins on the joints, not on the legs or the arms. That is awesome. So we do have a swivel here at the head, which does have a hinge, which is really, really tight. Every single time I try to do it, it really does not want to go back. But that's how far up it goes, at least me trying right now. And we do have a separate joint that goes into the body here for articulation. I was able to do this because, again, this is really tight. I have to grab this whole piece and rotate it. See right there? And it actually will, it's more of a rotation, but it will pivot side to side. So it is a little bit of a ball joint going on there. Swivel at the wrist, we do have a hinge here, which eventually I feel like this will rub up into here on the chest and damage this, which could be bad. We do have upper arm swivel. We have double jointed elbows here. Swivel at the wrist as well as a hinge at this wrist. This is for all sets of hands. Ab crunch that goes back that far, which has some continued details there. Forward, side to side. Legs go out that far, looking pretty good. Back not too much. Really good splits. That's almost a perfect split. Upper thigh swivel. We do have double jointed knees that work just fine. Actually, I didn't realize that there was going to be a boot swivel, but there is, and I'm glad about that. Be careful with these ankles. With some Iron Man figures, the ankles are extremely tight. The left foot has a better ankle. It's not too tight, but it goes down that much. Up, not really all that much, but it does have the ankle rockers. I was about to take some photos in there. I noticed there's some weird stuff. It's kind of hard to see, but there's just some weird splotching going on. And it's like a rough texture on the plastic here. You can see it there. There's not really much going on. So again, a little bit hard to see with the light and whatnot, but you can kind of make out something weird going on with this calf right there. So that's a little troubling. So for quick size comparisons, on the right, we have the 80th anniversary Iron Man there. And on the left, we have last year's War Machine figure. Very happy to have both this version of Iron Man in the middle and War Machine together. These are going to look great with each other. I'm telling you guys right now. War Machine is a little bit taller than both these figures, and both Iron Man figures are about the same height. Now we look at Captain America, also from the 80th anniversary, as well as the last year released Retro Collection Spider-Man there, which Spidey's going to be a little bit shorter, but Cap is going to be just a tiny bit taller than Iron Man in the middle. So overall, I am pretty pleased with this figure. The biggest complaint I have is just the red paint. There really isn't any paint on the red, actually. So I can't really call it red paint. It's molded in red, and I wish it was painted like the gold on here. I wish they went the extra mile did. It would have looked a lot better. Also, this figure comes with pretty much everything you need besides an alternate Tony Stark head. That would have made this purchase here a little bit better. I've tried putting on the 80th anniversary head on there. It doesn't really work. As well as the 2018 Okoye series, I think the Invincible Iron Man, that head also doesn't really work. If you have a better array of Tony Stark heads, give any of it a try. I only have 2 of these here, so yeah, I just wish they came with an alternate head that would fit on here. But overall, still a pretty solid figure. It has some good articulation. The pin stick on here is pretty nice, and the gold is really well done, and the overall sculpting is really good, especially in the torso and the head. This is a $20 figure. I got mine actually from Dorkside Toys. They got theirs in stock pretty early, so I went ahead and jumped the gun. First time I ever bought anything from Dorkside Toys, and it was a pretty good experience. So I'll leave a link down to their link, as well as some other links in the description below where you can purchase this figure. Thank you guys very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below what you think about the figure, what you think about the review. Leave a like, share with your friends. Follow me on Instagram for more content over there. I'll see you guys later.